Hi there, today I'm here and I'm going to share with you some of the things I've canned. Linda over at Linda's Pantry and Heather over at Needy Homesteader have showed some of the things they've canned and the things they love and the things they don't. And I have a few things here and I thought I'd share a video with you and show you some of the things that I love and some of the things I don't. We'll start out with the tomatoes. These are my fresh canned tomatoes, whole tomatoes. I love. I've been canning these for, oh gosh, probably 35 years. And I love these for everything. I can put them in chili, I can put them in stew. They're fresh when you open them. They smell like delicious Utah. I live in Wyoming and we get our tomatoes from Utah because they grow wonderful tomatoes, and I can open a can and they smell like fresh Utah tomatoes. They make everything taste better and they're delicious, and I can plenty every year so that I can use them throughout the year, and they're just wonderful. I would can these. This would be one of my very first choices of if I had to choose what I would can first, this would be one of the very first choices that I would choose. The next thing I love is spaghetti sauce. Spaghetti sauce is so wonderful to have in the pantry. I open a jar and use it for my spaghetti lasagna or anything that I make like that, and I think it's just wonderful. It too has a fresh, delicious flavor, more like if you made your spaghetti sauce fresh. It's not exactly like that, but I just love it. My husband's not a fan of tomatoes, and he doesn't like it. So when I make spaghetti, I have to make some for me with this sauce, and I buy white sauce for him and make his with white sauce, and then we're both happy. So it's good. We're empty nesters, and so we just kind of do things that make each one of us happy. So that's a good thing. The next thing that I have canned with my tomatoes is tomato soup. Now, I would love to be able to have fresh tomato soup on my shelf, open it up and have add a little bit of half and half or cream to this and have a delicious bowl of soup. But this tomato soup is awful. I would not can this again. It was good. I thought it would be delicious when I put it in the jar, but it has a real weird taste. I haven't thrown it out yet. I canned it in not this last summer, but the summer before in 2016, because I'm sure I can use it for something, but I haven't used it because I don't want to ruin any of my meals that I cook. And so this is an interesting soup. I think I used the recipe from the National Food and Preservation site, which is a good go-to site, but it hasn't been something that I have loved very much. Some of you may. We all have different tastes, but this is one of the things that I won't can again. I also love having canned green beans on my shelf. There's nothing better than a fresh jar of canned green beans on your shelf. I found that the green beans you buy in the cans in the store have not a real great taste to them. And so I like to can my own and have enough for the winter. I'd really like to get enough for 2 years, but my canning is limited. I have to pick and choose because I just can't do a lot because I have some diseases that limit me. So anyway, this is a really good thing. I also canned dilly beans. I canned a batch, which was, I think, I don't know how many I did. I can't remember, but you put, they're pickled. They have garlic and jalapeno and dill in them, and they're pickled with vinegar, which we love. My son came home a week or two ago, and I told him I canned the dilly beans for his wife. I think he took them all. think he took them for her because I can't find not one jar. So that I would just kind of chuckled at him, and I thought, well, if they need those beans, that's okay. They can have those beans. I'll can some more next year, but it made me laugh. I would can both of these again. The regular dill beans and the dilly beans. Now this is a vegetable soup I made. The recipe is in one of my ball books, and it's delicious. We all love it. My daughter-in-law loves it. It has lima beans in it. I wanted to try to replicate the vegetable soup Campbell's that has the lima beans in it with no meat. At the time that I canned this, I was going to the hospital a lot and doctor procedures, and I needed something that I could just open up and eat that was soothing to me. This would be great if you don't feel well. And I'm going to can some more. I can't get fresh tomatoes anymore, I don't think. So, but I can use my canned tomatoes that I canned over here. These tomatoes I can put in this soup. I have lots of potatoes and I can get corn and lima beans and carrots and all of those things. And it's a delicious go-to soup that I would recommend to everybody. It's in one of the ball canning books. I think the blue books. I have an old blue book. It wasn't in that one, but I think it's in one of the newer ball blue books, and it's a good flavor, good recipe that I love. And then I canned some carrots. I got a good deal on some carrots, and I wanted to use them up before they turn bad. These have to be pressure canned. One of the things about these carrots that I found is they cook for so long that they turn mushy. Well, they don't turn mushy. Look, they're all intact. They're in good shape. Everything looks good about them, but they're softer than I would like. I like just to open a jar of carrots, I like them to have just a little bite to them. Not hard in the middle, but not mush either. These are pretty soft. They're still really good. The flavor's good. I'll use them in maybe some soups or stews, or chop them fine and put them in my spaghetti sauce or in some chili. They would be delicious. And so I probably would can these again, but I wish they were just a little bit firmer. And these are big chunks, some of them. Some of the chunks are pretty good size. So I thought maybe if I did big chunks, but I kind of did big chunks and they still are pretty soft. So I don't know how to fix that. If any of you know and have a remedy, I would love to hear. That would be great. One of the next things I'll show you is cowboy candy. I canned this for the first time last year. Candy, it's good. It's hot. We love hot. I wanted it to be hot. But at the same time, I was disappointed because it has a sweet and sour. The broth to me tastes like bread and butter pickle taste. That's the closest I can tell you about it. Ever since I've gotten sick, I'm on a lot of medications, and it's changed my taste. I think normally I might love this, but I don't. They say it's really good with crackers and cream cheese, and then put some of this on top, and I need to try that. So I'll try that and I'll get back to you. But, and my husband, he likes hot. And he likes fresh jalapenos. He doesn't even like pickled jalapenos for the most part. So this wasn't his favorite either. I don't think I would do this again. My family, most of them don't like hot. So I don't really know if they would love this or not. I just give it away to people when I know they'll love it. But this is probably something I would not do again. Now, as far as pickled jalapenos that don't have the bread and butter taste, just pickled jalapenos, I will do that. And I do want to do that. I wish I could have this year. But as I said, I'm limited and I didn't get any done. But it is something that I will do in the future is pickled jalapenos. So, okay, now we're getting to my apple butter. This is apple butter. We love the apple butter. So easy. We do it in the crock pot. I don't know if that's an approved method, but it's delicious and easy for me. And we've had luck with it. And it's so good. I have apples right now and I need to make a little bit more for this year. I have apple butter. I have pear butter, which we love. The pear butter is so delicious. I liked it better than the apple butter. So we'll do this again. And then also we have peach butter, which was my least favorite of the three, even though I love peaches, and it was good. But it was my least favorite of the three, so I don't know if I would do this again because I love the others more, and I would probably do them before I do this. And then I have some peach jam, which I actually like better than the peach butter, which is delicious. As I said, we're empty nesters, and my husband does not eat jam hardly ever, ever, ever. It's just not his thing. And so I like it, but not enough to make a ton of it. I made it last year and I still have several jars. I do have a cute little granddaughter that said though, "Grandma, do you have any peach jam? Because I need some." And so I gave her some, and that when my grandkids want something, of course they're going to get it from Grandma. So it just makes my heart warm when my grandkids want something that I've made. So anyway, this is my peach butter. Okay, this is some pickles that we love. I've made them 3 or 4 times, and they're just the most delicious. And this is just a recipe I found online. This is my Emerald Lagasse hot and sweet pickles. They have hot peppers in them and onions, and they have good flavor, and these are delicious. My whole family loves these, and I can't keep them on the shelves because they love them so much. So this is a pickle that I will make every year if I can get the cucumbers. We live in Wyoming, and it's hard to grow fruit or vegetables here. And so we traveled to Utah, which is about an hour and a half away. And so we're dependent upon what the fruit stands sell. I can usually get lots of things, delicious fruit and vegetables, and then I bring it home and can it. So that's wonderful. So I got lots of pickling cucumbers this year. I canned these dill pickles this year, hoping that I would love them. I'm very disappointed. It's been about 3 months and they just taste terrible. I used one of the recipes in one of my cookbooks, but I can't remember, my canning books. I can't remember which recipe, but they do not taste good. They're crisp, but they don't taste very good. I don't know why. Maybe it was just a bad recipe. So I don't know if I'll do dill pickles, especially like this again. My daughter-in-law has a good recipe, so maybe I should make hers next time. I'm not discouraging you from doing pickles, but these pickles were not good. The next thing I make is canned beets. Love canned beets. Love beets. My husband doesn't, but I do, and I can them for me. They're delicious, and I would can them again and again. I also have, I have canned peaches. I can a lot of peaches every year. Delicious peaches. My son, one of my sons, loves these. He'll open them up and eat a whole jar, a whole quart jar. He's in his 20s. He's young, but he comes home and takes jars of peaches. So I have to make a lot. I love fresh fruit, and in the middle of the winter, especially where we live, you can't find good fruit, especially from about March till June. Well, about May, the strawberries start to get pretty good. And so I love to have peaches on hand that I can eat during the winter months. I also love pears, but this year I was not able to get any pears. I was wishing I could get some, but I wasn't able to, and so I didn't get any pears canned. But I love them too. This is applesauce, which I do in the crock pot again. Delicious. This applesauce is so supreme to anything you could ever buy in the store. And I have grandkids that love it. My little grandson, he just loves it. He loves it for breakfast. He just had a birthday and I gave him a little jar of it and he was so excited. Mom, she gave me applesauce. So when they come down, I try to share my applesauce with them, and I'm almost out. I think this is my last jar, so I need to make some more applesauce. It's delicious. Now, this is peach pie filling. I made 17 jars of this, I think. It's made with clear gel. It's not our favorite. I've also made apple too, and apple didn't seem to be as bad as the peach, but I canned this, I think because the peaches are softer than the apples. They just kind of have a soft texture to them. And I made a pie, and we all had some of my kids and my husband and I, and that clear gel, it's not bad, but it's not the pies my family's used to. My family is really spoiled, and they're used to fresh peach pie made with a little bit of butter and flour to thicken it, and a little bit of sugar, and they're delicious. Pies like that are delicious. And this has that thick, clear gel. My son, he said, "Did you put Jell-O in it, Mom?" And so I don't know if I'll make this again. I told my family, you're spoiled, and we're just going to have to make fresh pie, I guess. They won't get peach pie except for when peaches are in season. If that's the case, if they don't like this. I actually made a big pie and only half of it got eaten. So it's a waste, and I can't blame them, though. We're just spoiled. I didn't really like it either. Some people love this. I don't want to throw it all out because I have a lot of it. So I questioned people online, and some said to make cobblers, but I think cobblers would have the same texture. And so, or crisps, you know. But one lady had a good idea. She said, why don't you wazz it up with your immersion blender, and then use it kind of like applesauce and make peach muffins or peach cake. And I'm going to try that, which I think is a great idea. I'll let you know how that turns out. I think we would love it because the flavor's good, everything's good. It's just we're spoiled with the pie. So I'll let you know how that works out when I do that. I'm going to do that pretty soon and see if it turns out for me. I also have a list of things that I would love to try or recan that I have canned in the past. One of the things that I used to can all the time was currant jelly. We have currant bushes in our yard, and I'd pick the currants and cook them down and use the juice from the currants to make jelly, and it's my favorite kind of jelly. I love currant jelly. It's a lot of work. I also, when I was a young girl, I helped my mom can. I'm 58 now, and so I started canning 50 years ago, and I would help her can. And what she would do is she would take apricots and she would peel them to can. She would make canned apricots, which I love, just bottled apricots like peaches, but bottled apricots, and I would love to can some of those. I love them. But she would take the little seed out of the apricot, and she'd lay them out in the sun to dry. And then when they got dried, she would crack all of those and add them to some apricot jam. She made apricot pineapple jam with the little apricot seeds in them. and it's delicious. I haven't had canned apricot jam like that since I was a girl, and I loved it. It was delicious. I haven't heard of anyone else doing that, but my mom did, and I missed that. I canned some fish this year. My son went over to the gorge fishing, a big gorge where we live, and he caught some big fish, bass, I think, and rainbow. I'm not exactly sure, but it was big, and I after he cleaned it, I cut those pieces up and put them in jars and pressure canned them, and that fish was delicious too. He lived in South Dakota at the time, and he shared it with one of his workers that loved the fish. It reminded him of the fish his mother canned, and so he shared it with him, which was awesome. I also would love to have some pinto beans, black beans, kidney beans in my pantry, like Linda and Heather do. I've never done that before, but I've watched their videos, and I have the beans. I've been waiting for the canning season where I live to get over with, so that I can can the beans. The legumes will be the next thing I can, because I think that they will be wonderful. I would love to do like Heather said, and have them with my meals almost daily. I think they're very good for you, and we need to eat more healthy, and that's one of the things that I will be canning up soon. I want to can chili. I would love to have canned chili that I can open up on a night when I don't feel very good, and my husband could have and I could have a can of chili with some onion on top and a little bit of cheese, and just have a warm bowl of chili. Or we could have some crackers with it, or tortilla. We like to cook a tortilla and put a little butter on it. Something just easy. Sometimes I just don't feel good and I need easy. I would like to try lots of different soups and stews, like this soup, which is so delicious and easy. There's other soups and stews I'd like to try and have on hand for those days when it's hard and I don't feel like cooking. Mushrooms, I'd like to have canned mushrooms and canned celery in my pantry, because both of those go bad in my fridge. Especially mushrooms, they go bad so fast, it seems like, and it would be nice to just can them up and not have to have that waste. Canned pineapple like Heather does, that would be delicious. I had a friend on Facebook this morning tell me that the pineapple are on sale right now, but they're 35 miles from where I live, and I probably won't get there to buy some to can them up. I have a delicious salsa recipe. I'm out of salsa. I didn't can any this year, and I should have. My son came home and said, "Mom, did you do salsa?" I gave him the rest of what I had. It's hard for me to do salsa. There's a lot of vegetables in it that make it hard, and I told him, "You need to come home and help me make the salsa." I have a wonderful chopper. It's one that I hooked to my KitchenAid, and it's the chopper for it, and it actually dices the vegetables. So it's really nice when you get it set up and going. So next year I will have to make salsa. I also was hoping my husband would get a deer. He didn't get a deer this year. But my daughter and her husband got deer and antelope, and I'm hoping to can some venison. And also I have a case of chicken in the freezer that I will can up, and also I would like to can some beef, have that on hand for fast meals. I love to have that, all of that on hand. I would love to can some pork and beans. I've never done that, but I've watched Linda do it on Linda's Pantry. If you haven't seen her, check her out, because her and Heather, they both are amazing, amazing canners. And I love to watch their videos and love to see what they're doing because they're so amazing. But I would like to can the pork and beans and have a jar that I could open up and just eat because I love pork and beans. And then I also would like to try some kind of a corn relish because I think I would really love that too, or succotash too. I would love both of those. I used to can corn, pressure can it, but it's a lot of work. It's hard for me. And so I haven't canned corn either, but I do love canned corn too. Anyway, those are a few of the things that I have, a few of the things. Oh, one of the things that I would not can again that I've done in the past is cherries. They turn really soft, a whole different texture and taste, and I like them. And they would be really good for a cherry cake or something like that. And the juice is dark and sweet and would be delicious. But it's too much work for me to do all that work for the cherries. But some of you might just love that, especially if you have cherry trees. There are cherry trees in Utah where we live, and the cherries are just delicious. But I do not do cherries anymore. Anyway, that's just a few of the things I've canned and a few of my experiences. I'd love to see more videos. They were both really fun for me to see. I hope you'll post, I hope you'll comment, and I hope you will let me know your experiences, and if you have answers for some of my dilemmas, I'd love to hear them. I thank you all, and thank you Linda and Heather for this wonderful opportunity and for these videos. I just love it, and we'll see you later.